Hello guys, how are you?
I'm Hardeep Singh. Welcome back to your own YouTube channel. IELTS updates and recent exams. For more updates related to recent IELTS exam writing test topics, listening, reading, practice test, and speaking, you got guesswork. Please, guys, participate in everyday listening and reading practice test to achieve your desired band score in your actual IELTS exam. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Press the bell icon for the upcoming notifications. Don't forget like, subscribe and share my YouTube channel and my Facebook page, IELTS updates and recent exams.
Part 1.
You will hear a conversation between a foreign student and the accommodation secretary of the college at which he has enrolled. Look at questions.
Excuse me, is this the accommodation office?
Yes, it is.
Hi, my name's Wolfgang. I'm a new student here. I'm wondering if you can tell me some information about the housing arrangements at this college.
Yes, certainly. Well, basically there are two types of accommodation. The most popular is the college accommodation, but we also offer accommodation with local families.
You mean a kind of homestay?
Yes, that's right.
Well, do you mind if I ask you a few questions about both of them? Let me start with the college accommodations. What kind of rooms are they?
Well, there are basically two types of room, either a single or a twin study bedroom. So
I'd have a roommate then.
that's right, yes. So it's two people sharing a room.
Do all of the rooms have their own bathrooms?
They don't. You have to share a bathroom and a toilet, and showers with a group of rooms. So it's with about 6 to 8 other students.
I see. Well, can I wash my hands and so on in the room, or...
Yes, there is a wash basin in the rooms.
But if I want to use the toilet or take a shower, I have to go down the hall.
That's right, yeah.
Ah, I see. Well, that sounds fine. What about bedding? Is that provided by the college, or...?
Yes, it is. So all the bed linen is supplied.
And the towels?
No, so you have to bring your own towels with you.
Oh, aha.
Before you hear the rest of the talk, you have some time to look at questions.
Well, if I then... to wash my towels, is there a place where I can go to do that, or...?
Yes. So there are two accommodation buildings in the college, and both of these have laundrettes.
I'm sorry, they have a what?
They have laundrettes. So these are places where you can take your washing, and there are washing machines.
Oh, is it free, or...?
No. So there are coin-operated washing machines.
Oh, so I use the coins to make the machine work.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, okay, that sounds fine.
And the rooms are actually cleaned every week. And the bed linen is changed also at the same time.
Oh, that's wonderful. That sounds fine. If I do decide to stay in the dormitory, I'm going to want to have a chance to watch television. I want to use TV to practice my English. Is there a TV in the room?
Well, no, there isn't a TV in every room, but there is a common room which has a colour TV in it and some kind of sitting areas so students can meet together and they can watch TV.
Oh, well, that sounds fine.
And but actually there's also a large hall for films and discos and kind of parties and other social occasions.
Oh, well, that sounds very good. That sounds interesting. I may want to do that. But before I decide for sure, let me ask about the other possibility. I think you said there's a kind of homestay program, is that right?
Yes, that's right. So we select local families who want to have students staying with them for a short period.
Well, that sounds interesting. How does that work? Do I eat there every day and sleep there as well, and so on?
Oh, well, basically there are two kinds of accommodation available here. So, the first one is half board. So this is where you just eat breakfast and evening dinner with the family.
Oh, and then lunch I would have on campus.
That's right, yes. So that's during the week, but at weekends you'll have all your meals.
All the meals there.
With the family. So that's
The other one was...
So that was half board. The other one is bed and breakfast. So this is where you just have breakfast with the family, 7 days a week. So that includes weekends.
And then I would have the lunch and dinner on campus. Is that how it'd work?
That's right, yes. So it's just breakfast.
Well, now that I think about it, I wonder if maybe that might not be the better option for me. That way I would have a chance to be practicing my English with the British family. Yes, I think I'll sign up for that. I'm pretty much sure that's what I want to do right now. Is it okay to go ahead and sign up immediately?
Okay, yes, that's fine. Right, let me just see if I can find the forms.
That is the end of part 1.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turns to part 2.
You'll hear the second part of the conversation between the foreign student and the secretary. Now look at questions. I think I'll sign up for that. I'm pretty much sure that's what I want to do right now. Is it okay to go ahead and sign up immediately?
Okay, yes, that's fine. Right, let me just see if I can find the forms. Okay, right. So your name is...
My name is Wolfgang Schmidt. That's Wolfgang.
Wolfgang. Okay, how do you spell that?
Wolfgang.
Okay, G-A-N-G,
And my last name is Schmidt.
Schmidt,
S-C-H-M-I-D-T.
S-C-H-M-I-D-T. And your address?
You mean in Germany?
Yes, your home address.
It's Franz-Dieter Straße.
How do you spell that?
That's F-R-A-N-Z.
F-R-A-N-Z. We say Z in Britain.
Oh, I'm sorry. Z, yes. F-R-A-N-Z. And the next word is Dieter. That's D-I-E-T-E-R.
And
the last word is Straße.
Strausse. So that's S-T...
S-T-R-A-U-S-S-E.
S-S-E.
Franz-Dieter Straße, number 5.
Number 5.
In Bonn.
Right, and that's Germany, obviously.
Germany,
And your age?
I'm 20. I'm sorry, no. I just turned 21 yesterday.
Oh, really? Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Okay. And the program that you're in?
I'm on the 4-month program, so I'll be staying here until the end of December.
Right. And so you have any special dietary requirements?
I'm sorry, I'm not sure what you mean.
Is there any kind of special food that you need, or that you don't eat?
Oh, no, I like to eat most anything.
That's just as well with British food.
I don't think so. I'm looking forward to trying some British dishes.
Really? Well, okay. We like to ask you something about yourself, your personal interests and things. so that we can match you with an appropriate family. So,
Oh, okay.
have you got any personal interests or hobbies?
Well, I like to do sports. I especially like football. If it's possible, I'd like to be with a family, maybe, where there's somebody I could practice football with.
Right, football. And have you got any special requirements as to the family that you're going to stay with?
Oh, well, I come from a large family back in Germany, so maybe if it's possible, you could put me with a family where there might be another young person or two. Perhaps would be good.
Right. So someone about your age, perhaps.
Maybe someone I could play football with, yeah.
Before you hear the rest of the talk, you have some time to look at questions.
Right. Well, actually, I interviewed a family yesterday who seemed just right for you.
Oh,
Their name is Roberts. So it's the Roberts family. Mr. Roberts is a bank manager.
oh, really? My father is a bank manager.
Oh, well, and
That sounds very good.
so his wife is a part-time nursery school teacher. So she just works in the morning.
Okay.
And they have 2 children. The girl is 18, but she's actually just gone away to college. So this is why they have a room vacant.
Oh, so I would stay in her room then.
That's right, uh-huh.
Oh, well, that sounds fine.
And their son is 16 years old, and he likes football very much.
Well, that sounds very good. I think I'd like to meet this family. Is that possible to do that?
Yes, it is. What I'll do is, I'll give Mrs. Roberts a ring now. In fact, she should be home at this time, so I'll give her a ring.
Okay, thank you.
That is the end of part 2.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turns to part 3.
You're going to hear a conversation between 3 students about a tutorial 2 of them have just had. First, look at questions 21 to 23.
Hi Sarah, that was actually quite exciting, wasn't it?
You really think so, Dave? I'm completely worn out. If I have to take in another piece of information, my head's going to explode.
It was good though.
I have to admit it was.
And it was challenging.
Challenging. The last tutorial makes me think I learned absolutely nothing at school. I understood nearly all of it, but a few bits I'm not sure I got at all. Reading is reading, and that's that.
Well, it is and it isn't, you know.
We all read in the same way.
No, we don't.
What are you 2 arguing about?
Oh, it's Terry. Hi.
Reading.
Reading?
Yes, reading.
It's not exactly a sexy subject to be arguing about, is it, Dave?
I don't know. I find it quite exciting, really.
You would.
We've just been to this tutorial on study skills as part of the English literature course, and Sarah's found it difficult to follow.
No, Dave, that's not true. It's just there were some things that I'm not so sure about, or more importantly, sure whether they're important or not.
Well, what was the problem?
Well, when I read, I just read, and Dr. Pratt was going on about all these different techniques that we need to develop and hone.
Before the speakers continue, look at questions 24 to 30.
And how do you read then, Sarah?
I just read as I said, like everyone else. I read each word as it comes.
How many pages do you read in an hour?
About 25, 30.
And what about you, Dave?
60, maybe 70.
60 to 70.
That's not a lot.
How many do you read then, Terry?
It depends. About 120.
What?
Oh, come on, Terry.
Yeah, and I'm not unusual. One of my friends doing medieval European history, Arnold, he reads about 160 an hour.
But does he remember it all?
Yeah, I think so, Dave.
I get through only one book a week.
Me too. What about you, Terry?
At the moment, 3.
And your friend Arnold?
20.
20?
Yes, but it doesn't matter at the moment. What matters is that you develop your reading speed to suit the circumstances. You could still stick to your reading speed of 25 pages an hour for leisure purposes, but double your reading speed for, say, reading journals or academic texts. If I'm scanning a text for specific information, I can just whiz through. Then, when I find what I want, I read through that particular part very slowly. With 40 to 50 or more books to get through in a term, you can't afford to read every word.
Have you always read like that?
No, it's only since I've been here.
I find this all very depressing. How did you do it then?
In the first week of term, in the first year, we had a tutorial on reading.
From Dr. Pratt?
Yes, and I felt so inadequate after the class.
Well, what did he tell you?
He just gave us a few basic strategies on reading, and then, over the last 2 years, he's been nurturing us so that we all now work very efficiently.
So he's your tutor too. You can tell us then what he means when he talks about learning to read the content words only.
Well, this is obviously just the first step. If you read every a, the, to, from, was, etc., it really slows you down.
Yeah?
But if you train your eye to look at the nouns, verbs, adverbs and adjectives...
Assuming you know what they are.
Well, then the big words. Then you automatically increase your speed.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right, I think I'm going off to the library to start. Thanks for the tutorial.
Anytime. I'm off to the sports centre.
By the way, what was your reading speed per hour when you first came here?
25.
That is the end of part 3.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turns to part 4.
You will hear part of a lecture about the film director Alfred Hitchcock. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40.
We've been talking about prominent film directors, and today I want to talk about one of the most influential directors of them all, Sir Alfred Hitchcock. I doubt there's anyone here who hasn't seen at least one of his movies. Let me give you some film titles. Put your hand up if you've seen it. OK. The Birds, Vertigo, Rear Window, The 39 Steps, Marnie, and of course, the most famous of them all, Psycho. OK, good. I can see you're all familiar with Hitchcock then. Now people assume that Hitchcock was from America, perhaps because he spent so much of his life working in Hollywood, but he was in fact born in London in 1899. He didn't actually emigrate until he was 40 years old. Most film critics would agree that Hitchcock had a huge impact on cinema. and you may be surprised to learn that he started making movies as early as the 1920s, when most films were silent. His first attempt, in 1922, actually ended in disaster. The film was ironically called Number 13, and production stopped at a late stage due to financial problems. But before he left Britain in 1939, he'd already made classics like Blackmail, the first film with sound made in Britain, The Man Who Knew Too Much, and The 39 Steps, and he was considered Britain's top director. So why was Hitchcock so influential? To start with, he pioneered techniques, especially in the genre of the psychological thriller. He was known as the master of suspense. During a career that spanned more than half a century, Hitchcock created a distinctive, perhaps unique style. One of his innovations was to use a camera the way a person watching would. This gave filmgoers the sense that they were voyeurs rather than just viewers. He exploited camera angles and used innovative editing techniques to build suspense and maximize anxiety. His eye for detail was astonishing. Did you know that the famous scene in Psycho, in which Marion is murdered in the shower, took a whole week to film? Yes, a scene little more than a minute long. There were around 60 camera positions, and the set had to constantly be deconstructed and reconstructed. Today, that kind of almost obsessive perfection simply wouldn't be cost-effective. A week filming one scene would blow the budget. So what were Hitchcock films about, and who were some of his typical characters? It would be wrong to say that Hitchcock made horror movies, suspense movies or psychological thrillers, but not horror. Hitchcock rarely showed acts of violence. The effort went into building up tension, creating a sense of unease. The viewers know that something terrible is going to happen. They don't need to actually see it. Although his stories feature psychopaths, murderers and fugitives on the run, the real strength of his work is the complex examination of his characters. His movies borrow many themes from psychoanalysis, so it's not surprising that his masterpiece is called Psycho. However, a recurring theme in Hitchcock's stories is the twist ending. That's when the story ends in the way viewers least expect it to. I mean, the good guy turns out to be the bad guy, for example. Think of Psycho. It's the element of surprise that makes the end so creepy. Now, Hitchcock's movies feature many other elements of surprise. Daring elements, in fact. Again, I'll refer to Psycho. Marion is the principal character, and it is her that the viewer relates to and empathizes with. Marion has stolen money, and the viewer wants to know if she will get away with her crime or be caught and punished. Suddenly, a third of the way into the story, Marion is murdered, and the entire dynamic changes. The original storyline is put on hold, and a whole new story begins. No longer able to identify with Marion, the viewer begins to empathize with the new principal character, and that, of course, is the murderer, Norman. In this way, Hitchcock manipulates the audience into seeing the story from a whole new perspective. Did you know that Hitchcock played a small part in each of his movies? He always had a cameo role, and this was a very clever move, as it helped him become known. Filmgoers could put a face to the director. Some might even say that before Hitchcock, the director was a far less significant individual in the filmmaking process. Nowadays, however, people go to see a particular director's movie regardless of who's starring in it.
That is the end of part 4.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
So guys, don't forget like, subscribe and share my YouTube channel and my Facebook page IELTS updates and recent exams. For more updates related to recent IELTS exam writing test topics, listening, reading, practice test and speaking, you got guesswork. Please guys, participate in everyday new IELTS listening and reading practice tests to achieve your desired band score in your actual IELTS exam. For more IELTS material, visit my official website www.ieltsupdatesandrecentexams.com. The link is given below in the description. If you need PDF files of latest IELTS material, then please join my Telegram channel. So guys, please write your score below the comment section. Again, thanks for listening. God bless you all guys. Stay tuned, stay safe.